Look, it's Papa and Winnie. Welcome all to Grow for 2010, episode 15. And we're producing FECO under alcohol. And like any other time we make FECO, we must know exactly what the strength of the cannabis is, and it must be also decarbed. That way there, we know exactly what we're going to be putting into the products that we're going to be either eating or drinking. It's very important. Let's get on with this session. Now, cannabinoid extraction. That is the part that's the most important. Why? Because the more medicine we can take out of the plants, the better it is for us. And the extraction method that's the best is alcohol. Now, it's got to work also with the magic butter machine as a team, just like any other tincture. And that is the grain alcohol, the crux. And I've got some right here. This grain alcohol, turn it around. If I don't know if I have the label right, it doesn't matter, is 95%. Very strong. Used for party favorites. It's got a lot of uses. It's drinkable. Very important. Okay, moving on. Next is the magic butter machine. So obviously, it's got instructions and that kit that's just above my head that will explain how to make an alcohol tincture. So that way, that machine is set up to mix the small chunks of bud, like I'd said before, not milled, half-gram chunks, with the quantity the machine says, and that will, along with the temperatures, will make the maximum extraction of cannabinoids, because alcohol is the number one. Now, using alcohol means that after that first step, we can't use it. So what we have to do is take the alcohol out to leave the final step, which is all the cannabinoids trapped in their goodness. This is what the Source Turbo by Extract Craft does. Here's it right here. It can take the alcohol out. I will use my little pointer here and I'll show you where everything goes once I get an idea of what I'm doing here. Okay. In this center, there's a lid here and everything. This is like the whole thing done up. But in this center is where the alcohol and the cannabinoids are. They're all inside that cup. And on the running of this machine, the alcohol goes on the outside. It goes up on the top, condenses, go on the outside, and it leaves the goodness in the center. That goodness is what has to become your medicine. So you want to get as much alcohol out. It takes time to get the alcohol out. You don't. Alcohol is not your medicine. It's what's inside the cup. That's the most important part of this extracting section. Get the alcohol out and the goodness at the bottom of the cup. Then we reconstitute with coconut oil. In other words, it's all at the bottom. I can't do anything with this. How am I going to put this in a dropper or make anything useful of it? So reconstituting means we add a certain amount of oil and we mix it all up so that they all become one, like a solution. So that looks like this. And I have one here. MTC oil. But what the most important part is, 100%. It's got to be pure. No fillers, no nothing. You got to have the stuff because you're making medicine with it that's clean, that's pure. So that's the only thing about this thing that I think is very important. Make sure it's the right stuff, that's edible, that's made to eat, and it's 100% of what it's supposed to be. So we're just going to do a little recap. Cannabinoid extractions happen with different diluents. Some are edible diluents like glycerin, and some are non, or it's tough. They call that dragon's tears when you leave the alcohol in it and just kind of take some out, but just leave some in. It's strong, very, very strong. Better to say we have a way of making that not as toxic for us. And that is the next thing, remember, is the alcohol extraction with the extract craft. That is a machine that takes out the alcohol that will leave you just the medicine at the bottom of the crucible. After that, the only way you're going to get to move that stuff or get it to ingest it for drops onto your tongue as fecal oil would be to reconstitute it with MCT oil. That is it for this section. We'll always keep growing, keep the confidence up. Continuing with the next section, the plant report, where every episode we watch our medication going from the start to the finish. Let's start the plant report with A15, Trainwreck Auto. Now it's by Montreal Cannabis Seeds. And you guys have heard of it before, but what this is a what? It's A15C1 and A15C2. And this particular C means that it is a clone. And it was put in the soil on the 11th of May. Now, look at this. The original plant went into the soil on March 26. How could an auto live that long? That is the original A15. And this is what it looks like. That's all green. That doesn't look like it's dying. That doesn't look like it's old. And it's budding. They're going to be little power buds. I'm going to get some side shots next time. They're doing excellent. Next is A10 Auto Blue by Seedman Seeds. Okay, this one, soil 17, April 25. Okay, holy cow. This one's sitting in the CannaCultaCanada patio garden, and the buds are starting to pop all over. It was the one with all the leaves. Now the bud sites are all over. So we'll await its growth. Next one is A6, the Big Yield Auto by Phoenix Cannabis Seeds. This one, soil 150425. Oh, that's that little laggard, but it's got a nice bud on the top. But you see its leaves? And that's 17 of April. And they have little tips of I'm dying. So we'll have other examples of that shortly. Next is A14, Northern Lights Auto from Parkland Seeds. This one in the soil 070425. Okay, let's take a look. Yep, all the leaves are gone. So it's just the bud sites. And the way this particular thing is right up the stem. So we're going to let it stay a little longer, and then it's going to be harvest time for this one too. Awesome. It smells good too. Next, A15, the Trainwreck Auto, again by Montreal Cannabis Seeds, has a harvest date. But yet its clone is still going. So this is the remnants of it. And as a little memento, this is what it looked like when it started. Little A15. Keep growing, guys. See you on the next one. That'll conclude the plant report and this episode. And as always, keep growing and learning. See you on the next one. And as always, when he says, see you on the next one, peace!